My best friend had one rule. If I wanted to keep her, I could hate her brother, argue with her brother, even help her ruin his parties. But I could never kiss him, never want him, and definitely never wake up in his bed. Too bad I broke the last rule first. I woke up warm, tucked against a body that felt too solid and too familiar to belong to a dream. For one quiet second, before my brain caught up with the rest of me, I almost let myself stay there. His arm was heavy around my waist, his breath slow against the back of my neck, and the room smelled like cedar, laundry, and the cologne I had spent years pretending not to recognize. Then I opened my eyes. The Baywatch poster on the wall stared back at me. Caleb Reese's messy desk sat across the room, covered in empty cups, car keys, a half-dead phone charger, and the black cap he wore backward whenever he wanted to look more careless than he actually was. I was in Caleb's room. Worse, I was in Caleb's bed. My best friend's brother, Mirabella's twin. The boy I had spent half my life insulting because it was safer than admitting I noticed every time he looked at me. Panic hit so fast I forgot how to breathe. I tried to move, but Caleb's arm tightened like his body knew I was leaving before he did. He made a low sound in his sleep and pulled me closer. My heart slammed against my ribs. No, 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 no. Last night came back in pieces. None of them complete enough to explain everything, and all of them dangerous enough to ruin me. The party downstairs. Mira laughing too loudly. A stranger's hands on my waist. Caleb crossing the room with murder in his eyes. His voice low and furious, telling the guy to move. Then later, my headache. Mira's room occupied. Caleb's room quiet. The door opening. The lock clicking. His voice in the dark. Flower? I squeezed my eyes shut, but that only made the memory worse. Caleb Reese had called me Flower since we were kids, back when I pressed daisies into notebooks and thought nobody noticed. I hated the nickname because he always said it like a secret, like he remembered a version of me I had not given him permission to keep. And now I was waking up in his bed with his arm around me and no idea how much of last night he remembered. Carefully, I lifted his wrist from my waist. This time, he let me go. I slipped out from under the blanket, freezing when the mattress creaked. Caleb did not wake. Of course he looked peaceful. Of course the boy who had spent years making my life harder slept like he had never done anything wrong. His dark hair was a mess across his forehead, his mouth slightly parted, one hand curled where my waist had been. I hated that I noticed. I hated more that I wanted to notice longer. Then I looked down at myself. My dress was wrinkled. One strap had slipped off my shoulder. My lipstick was ruined. My knees were faintly bruised from a memory I was not ready to examine, and one of my earrings was missing. That was bad. The mark just below my collarbone was worse. I touched it with 2 fingers, and my stomach dropped. A dark bruise bloomed there, half hidden by the neckline of my dress. Not from a fall, not from the party crowd, not from anything I could explain if Mira saw it. Caleb had left evidence. The worst part was that some small traitorous part of me did not hate it. I grabbed my heels from the floor and tiptoed toward the door, stepping over a red cup, someone's jacket, and a phone that definitely did not belong to Caleb. The hallway outside looked like a crime scene after a frat party. Crushed cans, glitter, tissues, somebody's broken sunglasses, and a smell I refused to identify. I made it to the bathroom and locked myself inside. The mirror was worse than the room. My hair was tangled. My eyeliner had smudged into soft shadows under my eyes. My lips looked swollen in a way that made heat crawl up my neck. I turned on the faucet just to cover the sound of my breathing and tried to fix myself with shaking hands. Bailey? Mira's voice came from the other side of the door. My heart jumped into my throat. Are you in there? I yanked my hair over my shoulder, hiding the mark near my collarbone. Yeah, I called too quickly. Almost done. Everyone left, she groaned, and I need to pee before I die. I opened the door with what I hoped was a normal face. Mira leaned against the wall in last night's dress, arms crossed, mascara smudged, looking like a girl who had survived her own bad decisions and was ready to judge mine. Her eyes narrowed. You look awful. Good morning to you too. Where were you last night? I checked